In half an hour, Kemi Badenoch will make her speech to the Conservative Party conference in Manchester. After its worst ever election result, the party has sunk even further in the polls. Has she got what it takes to turn it around? Hello, I'm Vicky Young and welcome to Politics Live. Joining me today, former Conservative Cabinet Minister Nadhim Zahawi and Times columnist and a recent joiner to the Tories, Matthew Syed. Kemi Badenoch will put the economy at the heart of her message with a plan to cut government spending, borrowing and taxes. But will voters be listening? If you've got a view about that story or any other, remember it's your BBC News, so we want to hear your voice. Get in touch using the details on screen now. So Kemi Badenoch preparing to make that speech to her party conference, the first one that she will deliver as party leader. Nadhim, how much of a challenge is this for her, given the state of the polls and the state of the Tory party?
It is a challenge, clearly. I mean, look, she inherited a distressed brand, if we can describe the party as that, after the debacle. I remember I was at the table, at the cabinet table. I think I had more jobs just hopping around the cabinet table in about 6 months.
You've joined the Conservative Party. Some would say you're going against the tide in many ways.
Well,
Why now?
That's definitely true. The way you said it in that intro, it's like I'd contracted some kind of a disease. No, that's not fair. But that has been the way it's been characterised by some of my friends and colleagues
in the lobby
and so on. But perhaps a bit of context, if I may briefly. I stood for Labour in 2001 on the Blair Manifesto, and I'm proud to have stood on that manifesto.
And everyone looking to see whether the party can progress at that point. Otherwise, they're saying she will be in peril.
So my impression of party conference and just talking to colleagues is that no one has appetite for getting rid of the leader.
Here we are.
There she is.
We are looking at Kemi Badenoch. You're watching Politics Live. This is the Conservative leader making it onto the stage to make her speech to Conservative Party conference there in Manchester. A very warm reception, as you would imagine, for her coming out to make her first speech at conference as Conservative leader. Let's have a listen.
Thank you, conference. Thank you. Thank you, conference. Thank you. Thank you, conference. So I have looked at the stamp duty thresholds to see where we can change them. I have looked at the rates you have to pay to see if we can lower them. I have decided that we can't, because that simply wouldn't be enough. Conference, the next Conservative government will abolish stamp duty on your home. It'll be gone. I thought you'd like that one. Thank you. Thank you. build it together.
And that was Kemi Badenoch, the Conservative leader, making her conference speech, getting a rapturous reception in the hall, as you might imagine. She made a defence of past Conservative governments and insisted that the party today was fizzing with ideas. She made a surprise announcement saying that her party, if returned to government, would scrap stamp duty in England and Northern Ireland. She also promised to reduce borrowing. She said that she would bring a new settlement to the country, leaving the European Convention on Human Rights, deporting 150,000 illegal migrants, restricting benefits and cutting the civil service. We can see her there, joined on the stage by her husband, Hamish, and she will make her way off now as the audience applauds. And we will get reaction, of course, to that speech, starting with my guests in the studio. Nadeem Sahawi, what do you make of what she had to say? Actually, a lot of policy announcements have been made today and in the last few days, which wasn't what she was originally intending to do when she became leader.
Well, I thought she took her time, and I think most of the party felt the same way and left sort of summer vacant for sort of Reform and Nigel to dominate the headlines. But I think that speech has addressed that issue and more. It's smart economics. Smart economics is smart politics, ultimately. I think tomorrow's headlines, and I suspect up to the budget, will add to the pressure on Rachel Reeves. Stamp duty, land tax is a terrible tax, and that was a very smart move. Don't tinker, don't try and create different bands and play with it, because people don't get it. They've done the work, and it's complete abolition. That's a very, very clever economic move. It also speaks to what we discussed earlier, which is that reform's only real advantage is stopping the boat's immigration. If you look at the polling, and they've left the space of the economy less clear. I suspect if you conduct a focus group or a survey today, people don't really get where reform is at on the economy.
So, Matthew, if there's a gap there,
so it's a smart idea.
If there's a gap there on the economy, but does the Conservative Party, and you've recently joined it, does it have the credibility? And she talked about, we are competent enough to change things. There'll be lots of people saying, come on, the last Conservative government, the last thing it was competent.
Well, I joined the Conservative Party, but I still see myself first and foremost as an objective journalist, if I may say so.
On that, doesn't it, for the Conservatives?
That question you asked, if I may say so, on defence was absolutely seminal. There's war in Europe. Civil war could be about to overtake Syria. Iran is looking for an opportunity for the world to be distracted, to continue to enrich uranium. And the real big strategic question in the world at the moment is, why is China not blockading Taiwan? Absolutely crucial strategically because of its position in the production of advanced semiconductors. And they're waiting. And the West is stretched. The commitment to get to 3.5 to 5% of GDP that Trump imposed on NATO, that has free-ridden for decades, we're not going to get there for years. And our production of munitions is not capable, I don't think, of prevent. I think the reason China's waiting is it thinks its moment of maximum advantage is still to come. Our moral seriousness is determined in part by our ability to spend on defence. And that, as you say, to come to the answer, it's crucial that they can outline a way of bringing down those welfare benefits.
I think so. I think, look, things like claiming for anxiety, I think you're right to get help, but not necessarily get the welfare that goes with it. Mobility has become a giant scam, effectively. So I think that what you saw there, probably one of the most powerful things, is she's got a real team.
OK. Our thanks to Richard Fuller there in Manchester. Thank you for talking to us today. That's all for today. A big thank you to Nadeem Sahawi and Matthew Syed for being with me throughout the speech. I will be back tomorrow with more Politics Live at 12:15 here on BBC Two and iPlayer.